Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. My name is Sande. Welcome to this amazing YouTube channel. It's Sande, coming live here in Nairobi, Kenya. So guys, it's a very beautiful afternoon. Today I opted to do the video in the afternoon hours, and it really looks different compared to when you're doing the video early morning hours. So if it's the first time here, please consider subscribing the channel. For the frequent viewers, thank you so much for coming back to watch this amazing YouTube channel. We're heading to 4,000 subscribers. So today we'll be having a very different conversation. We're talking about how to survive in Nairobi, Kenya. So for those who have been in Nairobi and those who have lived in any, you can say, city, you know how tough it is to survive in the city. You have to make sure that you are well prepared to be able to survive in that particular city. So that will be the talk today. We try to figure out things that you need to do in order to have a very easy way of surviving in this jungle city, which is the most tricky, part of the most tricky cities here in Africa, because I can say Nairobi is growing very fast. So the more it grows very fast, it becomes kind of you need to have that tough skin to be able to survive here. So let's have that conversation and watch the video till the end. And because I love to do a walk and show you around the place. And remember to subscribe, like, and comment. It's sleeping time. I'm sorry I've woken you up. The question is, what does it take to survive in Nairobi, Kenya? So, Nairobi is one of the most tricky and expensive place to live, to survive in terms of its competition in business, job. So you need to be able to package yourself very well for you to survive here. So these are people hustling, like that guy is selling some clothing. Then normally when you walk on Nairobi roads, find people selling some things on at the edge of the road. That's part of survival. So some that they're selling snacks and clothes, depending on the location. So for you have to choose the perfect location for you to sell your things. So it's a normal thing here, and sometimes it brings up issues when you get to Nairobi CBD, whereby you find the hawkers having taken all the places. They're selling from everywhere, you know. They have wrangles with the county government, but now sometimes you need to understand that it's a way of making their ends meet. So I want to walk around and show you how people are trying to make things work here, and you see how tough it is to survive in Nairobi, Kenya. How tough it is. This is a Nairobi Adventist hospital here. Very nice hospital. It's a private one. Very good. The services are so nice. Then we have some other guys operating on the other end. So I'll just be doing a short walk to the other side down there and see what is it looking like. Because I want to do some inquiry about something that I'm having. For you who have seen my kitten or my cat called Ginger. Uniform. I'd call that a vet to treat. We're just chilling around this area. And this has turned up to be a chilling spot. Because sometimes back it was kind of a deserted area because of the size of the trees. They were too short, so people never used to come and sit here. But now people can be able to chill and relax at this particular point here. So that's the difference now. We are coming live here in this particular area. I just want to chill and show you this lovely space here that's surrounded by trees. So guys, I'll do a case study of myself when I'm trying to have this conversation. For me, the first time I came in Nairobi was in 2002. And imagine, 2002 I was in class 2. That was the first time that I landed in Kenya, in Nairobi, Kenya. And it was a very interesting experience because at that time I was with my cousin who was called Kevo. May his soul rest in peace. One day I'll talk to you about what happened. Kevo, soul rest in peace. So the guy was a very good guy. One of my best friends. So we came in Nairobi in 2002, and if I try to remember how Nairobi used to look like, it was totally different compared to this particular time. So in 2002, Nairobi had kind of less buildings in terms of the estates, you know. So we came and we went to a place called Maringo, which is in Eastlands. I am yet to do a video about that place called Maringo. So the thing is, when we went to Maringo, the place was very unique because there were less houses, well organized. You know, there are these houses that were built by the county government, you know, the colonial government, that were given to county workers who used to work for the county government. So those houses were so nice, by the way. They were so nice. So we were living in Maringo. So that time I was a very young man, and I really had loved to step my foot in Nairobi, Kenya. And when I did it, I was really happy, and I found a very nice city. It was well organized during that time. That's in 2002. Very well organized, and I find that the roads were so well. So there's something called the extensions. If you go to Eastlands, you find that people have these buildings, then they tend to extend by use of iron sheets. So that time there were less extensions. So they were just like these block buildings, and you could see that they are built and in between they're just put in a line, like 2 lines. Then in between you can be able to see from here to the end. So it was very, very clear for you to be able to see on the other side. Because of that time, it was less population, so the place was not that highly populated, and the prices of food, let's say foodstuffs, were very cheap. Same case to the transportation. I remember when we reached to a place called Nairobi, we had to go to. We dropped in Machakos, then we went to a place called OTC down there, where we were able to board a vehicle that costed us only 10 bob. You can imagine, to a place called number 10, a stage number 10 in Maringo. So those guys who live in Eastlands, I know you know these places. So the thing is, the transportation was very easy, very flexible, and very cheap at the moment. We used to have this very tall matatus which you are able to hold. You could hold on the, you stand, then you hold those kind of rails. So you only pay 10 Kenyan shillings. So they were having this tall buses that used to have like two entries, 2 doors from the front side and the back side. So you could enter from any side, then you get inside, you get hold of the iron, you can say the iron rod, then you pay half the price people are paying to go to Maringo or to your destination. So we used to kind of walk around, and I found Nairobi to be a very beautiful place at that time. Also, take note of this. In 2002, due to the less population, if you go to Eastlands, you're able to see those houses, though they are being built like in a line. I did a video about Jericho. You can go and check it out. You see how the buildings are built. So the thing is, back then, in between those lane of the houses, we used to have trees like this one here. Big trees, big massive trees. The trees were all over, and they were making the place look so nice. So there were plenty of trees at that particular time, and so the place was very green and very clean. In terms of the air, it was very clean and very green. So that time, if you compare it, Nairobi, that time and the other, at this particular moment, it's a very different, 2 different scenarios. So that was the first time. That's in 2002. Then I think we were in Nairobi for like 2 weeks, because we were just bringing some house manager to my aunt. You know, those days we used to bring house managers from the village. My aunts who live in Nairobi, so we are bringing one of them. So I can say I was in class 2, and I can really remember that very well. I remember so well how we went to CBD one time, then we went to do a walk somewhere else, and also the Uhuru Park was really different that time. So we used to do like a walk in Uhuru Park, City Stadium. We used to go and watch some games. For those two weeks, we maximized our stay, because we were always kind of moving around, and it was very nice, and it was a learning experience, because keeping in mind that you being in a new environment, you need to, and having less time in that new environment, you need to maximize your time to learn a lot. So that was one of the best experiences. Look at this lorry here carrying some sand. So that was my life in Nairobi in 2002. So that was the first time that I fell in love with Nairobi, for sure, I can tell you. And I told myself that when I'm done with high school, Kanairo will know me. So this is, we shall call it Kanairo, other name for Nairobi, Kanairo. So that is the first time I was in Nairobi, 2002. So in the comment section, tell us, when was the first time that you came in Nairobi? 2002, I was in class 2, in a very funny school called Emanyinya. One day I'll take you there. That name is crazy. That's a very funny meaning, that the bats are called in our local language Linyinya if it's one, Amanyinya if there are more. So the school is called Emanyinya because it has plenty of bats around. That's a story for another day. So that was my first experience in Nairobi. That's in 2002. So another thing is that now the next time I came to Nairobi was in 2013. That's the next time that I came to Nairobi, 2013. So that time, I was done with my high school. You know, in Kenya we have this system where you go to primary, then high school. From primary is from class 1 to class 8. Then we go to high school, which is from Form 1 to Form 4. So then, now when I was done with high school, I went to Nairobi, Kenya. The same guy who took me Nairobi in 2002 is the one that invited me to stay with him and hustle, you know. Normally when you are done with high school, you are very idle, especially before you join university. You are very idle and you just want to look for something to do. So I went back to Nairobi in 2013 for sure, when I went back to Nairobi, the difference was very much visible. Everything had changed in terms of even the way the houses look like. Things were really different, and it was really hard for me to connect the spaces or the places that I had visited earlier. But I was able to walk around and just know the places that I used to like move around, and it was a very nice experience now. So go the road first. So that's how we cross the road here in Nairobi, Kenya. So let me cross the road, then we continue the conversation. I think there's no vehicle on this other side. It's clear. So in 2013, when I went to Nairobi, I went as a different person, a grown-up man who is able to look for money and make ends meet. So it was a different person. So then in Nairobi now, it was like I have to hustle and make things work. Look at this roundabout here. It's evening, so it will get more busy as time goes by. So now in 2013, I went there with one mission: to make money. You know, when you are a young man with a lot of energy, and you are trying to push yourself to make things work, sometimes you really push to the boundary, you know. So I went there in 2013, and I say it was a very nice experience. I was able to adapt very easily, because you know, when you have that kind of a information about the place that you are going to, it becomes easier for you to survive very easily. So I got a job. I hustled for some time, and it was a very nice experience. So one day I'll talk about that hustling in Nairobi as a young man, because it requires you to be a very strong person who is able to push himself, you know. So that was my experience then, and it really went on well, because I was able to do some different things like driving school. I went to driving school with my money that I'd hustled, but I bought some, call it iron sheet for the Simba with the money that I had hustled. So it was a very nice experience, guys, and that's why I really respect people who do these small works here. I cannot really say that I cannot like which word we use. I respect them. I cannot underrate their hustles, because I know how tough it is and how important it is to hustle. You know when you're hustling just a little bit, slowly by slowly, pole, you'll make it. You know? So that was it, guys. It's a beautiful Red Hill Road. I want to show you another building that is coming up down here. Which I really admire, because I've seen it being built from the scratch. By the way, guys, I usually do some series called Nairobi Traffic Update. So it's a playlist on my channel that talks all about that, so you can go and check it out. So normally this place, the reason why you don't see people like having all shops at the edge of the area is because it's the richest neighborhood. We are in Nyari now, so here you will not be able to sell that much because of the target market or the customers, because people will buy here, most of them, maybe those who are just walking and going home, because that's where Gashi is. But if it's very hard for you to get like because the people who live around here, they will shop in the malls, so it gets very tough for you to be able to get a lot of customers. That's why there's less small businesses on the road. So when you're doing a business, you have to make sure that you know which is your market. Customer distribution is very important, because you might end up having a very nice business, but the place that you're having it, there's less people around. So those are the things that you consider before you set up a small business, because you need to have a place that people will be passing always, so that you're able to do some nice sales. If you don't have plenty of customers passing around, it'll be tough for you to do proper sales. So those are the things that as a young man or a hustler in Nairobi, Kenya, you put into consideration, that try to figure out what is the best way to have the best businesses. So those are things that I wanted to show you around. It's called the Roslyn shopping mall. It's always busy on weekdays. On Sundays, it's always busy. Today is kind of not that busy. So just want to reach here, then I turn around. I love the way they have planted the flowers in at the edge of the road. Nice, lovely place here. So, some nice big cotton tree there. So the last part of this video, we'll be talking about things that you need to avoid if you want to survive in Nairobi. Things to avoid doing, like if you want to survive in Nairobi, Kenya. You know, so Nairobi needs some strong hearts to survive. So there are things that you might do that will not guarantee you survival here. So at the moment the road is not that busy, by the way. It's not that busy. It's not that busy. So if you see any yellow bus, just know that's a school bus, like this one here, called Daisy Flower. Any yellow bus is a school bus. That rule was brought by the education minister called Matiang'i. So what happened is this. Let me just try to explain, because it's a very unique situation. So many years back, most of the schools, especially the high schools, they used to paint their buses depending with the color of their school uniforms. So you find that if your uniform is white, you paint the vehicle white. If it's blue, you paint blue. So all the vehicles, the school buses or school vehicles, were having different colors. You could not know, like, so they were being differentiated by the color. They were having kind of unique colors. Then what used to happen that time, the high schools, they used to hire their vehicles to go to do other businesses. Like if you have a wedding, you'll go and hire the vehicle from the school. They give you the vehicle, you go and do your wedding, then you come back. So it reached a time where the schools were having, the school buses were being involved in a lot of accidents. So what had to happen is that the only option they had now is to get rid of that, like the business they were doing. So they came up with the restrictions on school buses, because school buses were that time were having like accidents, you know, every time. You know, when you hear that a school bus has been involved in an accident somewhere, you are very scared. But maybe even the person or the bus might be carrying other villagers or other people rather than school kids. So the first rule that was brought in is that all the buses will be painted yellow. That's what you can see. All these are yellow, 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 yellow. So all the buses and the vans were painted yellow. All of them, one color. So that was the first thing that happened. The second thing is that they were not allowed to operate past 6. So you are only allowed to operate from 6 to 6. So according to the education rule or education department or sector, a school bus should not be should not be on the road past 6 p.m. If you are found, you are liable to be charged, you know, because you have gone contrary to the rules and regulations. That was brought in. Those guys are chasing the trailer. That was brought in with the guy called Machangi, and it has really worked out, and it has really helped to reduce the instances of school bus having accidents, you know. And you know, when they are having the same color, also that controls the way they are being dropped, you know, because everyone will just know this is a school bus, this is a school bus. But those years, they were having some funny colors. You cannot be able to differentiate. So nowadays it's very streamlined. You know, this is a school bus, and you know the color, and you know the route sometimes. Because I know, I think if you want to go for a school trip, especially the long trips, you're supposed to have a letter from the Ministry of Education to show that you'll be having a trip. So those are the things that I just thought to explain to you. You know. So we're still going. Look at this beautiful building here. I was inside here by the way. I didn't film because I'm not sure if they're allowed to film. I was trying to I was trying to inquire about sterilizing my cat. There's a Moby vet here. So they've told me. So I want to inquire about how I can sterilize my cat, you know, because I love that cat so much. I don't want it to give birth to many kittens all the time. So I went there. They told me 13,000 Kenya shillings. So I had to bargain, and we were at that's around $130. So we had to bargain to $80 now. So I'm just waiting for me to hustle that money. Then I'll take the cat there to be sterilized, and I will show you that process. So it's $80. So I have to look for that money for some few months, you know, so that the cat will be sterilized and be in a very beautiful situation, guys. So let's finish up the last part of the video, whereby we'll be talking about the things that you're not supposed to do here if you want to survive in Nairobi as a hustler. So one thing that here people are always on a move, you know, always just moving all the time. If you compare Nairobi and Mombasa, it's a very different scenarios. You know, Mombasa people are kind of calm, they're not really aggressive. So here the thing is you have to make sure that you're always moving all the time. So Nairobi is speed. You need to be a very flexible person to survive here. A flexible person, a person who is able to push and work things. If you are called somewhere, come, there's a job here. You wake up, you rush to the place. Here there's nothing like pole pole. I don't love using that word, but now in Nairobi, sometimes pole pole can only be used in the villages, the pole pole word. But here it becomes very tough for you to use the pole pole word. So Nairobi is a tough area. You need to wake up to push yourself. So one, speed. Two, creative. You can do any business by day. You should not do like things that people are doing. You can be unique. So that's where creativity comes in. Let's say if someone is selling eggs only, you come up with eggs with kachumbari. Kachumbari is a mixture of onions and tomatoes. So that's how you are creative now. You are coming up with a different services that you are having the same service. Two people having the same services, but two us as an added advantage. So that means you attract more people. You get it? So that's the thing, guys. Another thing, no, you're not supposed to sleep. That sounds funny, but if you want to sleep, go back to the villages. That's where people sleep. But even the villages, some of the people never sleep. You can see. Those who are doing farming, they have to wake up early in the morning and try to farm. So, but here you're supposed to have less sleep. For instance, for me, I wake up at 4 a.m. Can you imagine? So, can you imagine now 4 a.m. So that person who is hustling should wake up even earlier. But it depends on the business we are doing. But Nairobi, people don't sleep. If you want to sleep, you're gonna suffer. That's another thing. Another thing, I've talked about creativity, speed, then less sleep. Then there's also being able to manage your finances very well. So in Nairobi, Kenya, you can be able to balance between yourself. You try to find a way of balancing it. You be your own manager, you know. Because if you are doing these small businesses, you'll not be able to employ a manager to manage it. You have to do it yourself. So that's another thing. You have to find yourself in a way that you're able to manage. So you become like a manager on your own. So that's another thing. So that you'll be able to can say test your managerial skills, you know, which is very important. So those are the things that you need to do in Nairobi, Kenya. Creativity, number one. No sleeping. Sleep at home, sleep when you go back to the village. It's a roundabout. It's a roundabout. I don't know why that vehicle is waiting. I don't know. You know the rules. The roundabout rules very well. Very nice. Mercedes Benz. So that's it, guys, about surviving in Nairobi. There's another bus here, Parklands Baptist Church. There's another Nganya. Let me show you this Nganya here. This is a Nganya. Okay. So it's a booster now. It's a Ubers. It's cassava. Call them cassava. Funny thing, there are some people who still do farming here, especially if you are very close to a big chunk of land that is not occupied. You can do some few farming like here. Some cassava here. They are still very young, by the way. Still very young. And some maize. I think this one just grew on their own, but there are very few. Just like 1, 2, 3. So this one there's nothing here because it's overgrown. So in the comment section, tell us if you have been to Nairobi and how are you surviving in Nairobi. You know, so different people survive differently, and you know, we'll also talk about one thing about being able to avoid scammers in Nairobi, Kenya, because there are plenty of them, and you need to be very careful for that to avoid any instance of them like scamming you. So that will be a talk for another day. But today I've just explored how to survive in Nairobi, and I also give you a story. Just watch the video from the start and how I came to Nairobi and the transition, you know. So now we are in 2022. If I try to count all the years, it's more than 10 years. Close to 10, close to 12 years in Nairobi, Kenya. So it's plenty of experience here now, but to know how to maneuver around and make ends meet. So that's it. Let's just try. If you are here at the moment, if you find yourself in Nairobi, just try to make sure that you make things work on your own, and to have a proper if you have skills. By the way, I didn't tell you, I forgot to tell you about that. If you have skills, it's very easier for you to survive here. Someone with skills, it's easier because you're able to be different, you know. You can be doing the same job, but you do your job differently. I don't know if you're getting that. So you're doing the same jobs, but you also be able to do it differently. So it gives you an easy way of doing it, the proper way. You're doing it very differently. So that's an added advantage on that. So that's something else to note. There's a road here. So we're going to trademark suits. Trademark suits. It's a very beautiful residential area there. Kind of a hotel or a accommodation space. It's so nice. There's a water tank up there. So Oh, so now it's getting more busy, you can see, compared to when you were going down that side that time. So now we are close to, what's the time? Let me see. Having my phone here. So it's 3:49. So it will get busy and busy and busy. So by 5, it's very, very busy. So hope you have learned something about surviving in Nairobi. And I think I'm having an idea of doing a video about small businesses, whereby we go to the business people or women, men and women. They tell us how they are working out, how they are surviving in terms of business wise. So we'll plan to do that very soon. So stick to the channel, guys. If you haven't subscribed, kindly do so. For the frequent viewers, thank you so much for coming back to watch this amazing YouTube channel. So my mission is just show you around, to educate you, to entertain you. So if you haven't been to this area, you're able to learn and see this area. That's the end goal, nothing else. Just learning and seeing around, and it becomes very easier for us to learn and have a better, beautiful experience. So don't forget to subscribe, like and comment to the channel, and we're gonna meet in the next video, guys. So thank you so much and see you. Let's meet in the next video. Goodbye.